You've probably heard the name John Daly, but if you only know him for his long drives and wild outfits, you're missing the bigger picture. John Daly didn't just change how golf is played, he changed what it means to be a golfer. It's 1991, and John Daly is frankly a nobody in the golf world. And ninth alternate for the PGA Championship, John Daly wasn't even supposed to be on the course. In fact, the guy who was originally supposed to play dropped out the day before. So here comes Daly, a 25-year-old with a mullet and no practice rounds, almost zero name recognition. And then, like that, he wins. Not just any win, he wins by 3 strokes, blasting over 300 yards like no one has ever seen before. This guy came out of nowhere and changes the game of golf. It wasn't just his power, it was his attitude. Here's a guy straight from a working class family in Arkansas who wasn't polished like the rest of the tour, but that was exactly why people loved him. John Daly was the antithesis of what golf has been up until then. For decades, golf was a game for the elite. The guys in polo shirts with country club memberships and carefully managed public personas. Daly, he drank, he gambled, he smoked, he wore clothes that looked like they were picked up at a 1970s disco garage sale. And his grip it and rip it play style, his slogan, literally ripping 300 plus yard drives with a care for accuracy, that was a rebellion within itself. Traditional golf was about precision and caution, laying up, and that was not Daly. You think about guys like Ben Hogan or Jack Nicklaus, these guys were strategic, calculating every move. Daly, he stepped up to the tee, swung for the fences. Before John Daly, golf was formal, strict, and serious. Everyone looked the same. Neutral polos, tucked in shirts, and very quiet celebrations. Then Daly showed up. He didn't care about the dress code or the traditions. Loud outfits, untucked shirts, sipping Diet Coke, maybe with some alcohol in it, on the tee. Daly made golf fun and rebellious. He proved you didn't have to fit in the mold to succeed. His style broke barriers. Players like Ricky Fowler and Bubba Watson now rock bold colors and celebrate freely. Daly's influence didn't just change players, it transformed the sport's culture. Golf became more fun, more accessible, more real. He showed that being yourself could resonate with millions. But it wasn't just his style on the course that made him an outlaw. It was his off-course antics. Daly was a guy who'd finish around, head to the casino, and blow tens of thousands of dollars on a gambling spree. According to his own words, he lost anywhere between $50 and $60 million in a gambling spree over the years. Yeah, 50 to 60 million. On top of that, Daly struggled openly with his alcohol addiction. He showed up to a PGA event after a bender and had to withdraw mid-tournament. While this would have ruined most people's careers, Daly's struggles only seemed to make him grow more relatable with the fan base. He wasn't a perfect role model, but he was real, and people saw themselves in Daly's highs and lows. And you know what? Golf starting to loosen up because of it. Guys like Bubba Watson, who also played fast and loose with the sport's traditions, openly cite Daly as an influence. Daly paved the way for players who didn't fit the country club mold. His success showed that you didn't have to act, look, or play a certain way to win. Let's not forget the fashion either. Daly's outrageous outfits became part of his brand, and in the years that followed, you saw younger players starting to experiment with more color and personality in their gear. It wasn't just about looking professional anymore, it was about expressing yourself. That may not have seemed like a big deal, but in a sport that's been about tradition and conformity for centuries, it was a revolution. Beyond the players, Daly brought a whole new audience to the game. For many people, golf seemed as an elitist, boring sport, a game played behind the gates of exclusive country clubs. Daly broke the image. He was the people's golfer. He interacted with fans, signed autographed, and even cracked jokes. He brought a kind of rock star energy to the game that has never been seen before. In an era where players were distant, Daly was someone that fans felt like they could actually relate to. Fans loved that he wasn't perfect. They could see the struggles he faced, his divorces, his battles with addiction, his financial ups and downs due to gambling, and they connected with him on a personal level that was not seen before. It wasn't just about golf. It was about the story, the character, the humanity behind the player. Today we see Daly's influences everywhere. Think about modern players like Bryson DeChambeau, who bring science and muscle to the course, or look how laid back the culture around golf has become with Top Golf or casual mini golf formats that didn't exist in the same way before. These guys can thank John Daly for paving the way.
Daly's legacy isn't just about long drives or even the 2 major championships he's won. It's about breaking the mold. He showed that golf can be more fun, loud, and relatable. He humanized a sport that for many felt out of reach. So John Daly is an outlaw in the best way possible. He didn't just play by his own rules. He rewrote the rule book for everyone that followed. And whether you're a fan of his antics or not, there's no denying this. Golf is a whole lot more fun because of him.